Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 30 days Fish for Life Digital Boot Camp. Welcome to day 2, and I am sure so far you have been receiving value for your money. In fact, more value than your money can get you. Okay, so I encourage you to just stay on with us, and you will learn even more than you think. So just like our chief trainer said, I am going to take us through the process of book formatting using Microsoft Word as the main tool. Microsoft Word is not a tool for typing. Contrary to common perception that it's a tool for typing, it is more than a tool for typing. It's a book for professional formatting. Okay. And formatting, especially in book business, is very key, is very important. If you were here yesterday, you will recall Bishop say something about packaging, how himself and another man of God had to do a project, and he stood out not because he had more content, but because he could package his content better. So formatting is also packaging. Okay, if you are able to format your book very well, it will attract people. They will want to buy this book and they will want to read the book. But no matter how interesting your book is, if it is not packaged well, if it is not formatted well, imagine somebody is reading chapter 1 and then he falls on chapter 9. And then the very next chapter is chapter 3. So the story goes forward and then backwards. No matter how interesting the story is, the person will drop that book. If the choice of type fonts is not legible enough, there are type fonts that are so stylish, you only use them for maybe headings. But imagine you decide to go with that type font all through the book, and the person reads 1, 2, 3 sentences, his eyes is already straining, he will drop the book. So formatting is key in blogpreneur business. I see the file. Thank you, sir. And that is what we are going to do today. We are going to format this book that you guys just wrote in the afternoon. And I understand you also did the book cover, right? So we will do this, we'll format the book, and then God willing, we will open an account on Seller. And if time permits, even publish this book on Seller and make it go live. All of these things, I hope to get them done today. So let me access the book. I'm trying to access the book. I don't know what is happening to whether it's my network or what. It's just so slow, but I'm trying to access the book. Then I'll share my screen with you. Then we will do the formatting together. Just give me a second. Okay, just a second, please. I have seen the book. I'm just trying to get the document to open. Okay.
I also resent it as direct text. Maybe you just copy and create MS Word and just use it raw.
All right, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All the same, the document just opened. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now so that you see what I have as the Word document. All right. I just discovered I am not yet a co-host. So please, if you can quickly make me a co-host so that I can share my screen right away.
Done.
Thank you, sir. All right. Now I am sharing my screen. And I need a confirmation from all of us that we can actually see my screen and see my Microsoft Word document opened. If you can see my screen and you can see the document, please give me a 1 on the chat so that I know we are together. All right, thank you. So this is the book you wrote this afternoon, Living a Life of Impact. And here we are at the introduction page, which is titled Living a Life of Impact. And I'm going to scroll down. Okay. Did you see me scroll down? If you saw me scroll down, please give me a 3. Good. I see Bishop nodding. So someone has seen me already. Thank you. Don't be tired of typing in the chat room. That's how we go, and that's how we know that we're together. Remember, the purpose is for us to understand and take something home today. Not just to come here, sit down for 3 hours, and then leave. That the aim will be defeated. So here I have chapter 1. And if I scroll down further, I should find chapter 2 somewhere. Good, here it is. But then, okay, let me even just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And here I have chapter 3. And this is like an 11-page document. But let me scroll back to the top and ask a question at this point. Please, what have you noticed about this document so far? What have you noticed about the document so far that you don't like? Let me put it that way. You can just type it in the chat.
The
Yes.
pages are jammed. I mean, on the same, like introduction was encroaching page chapter 1, chapter 1 encroaching chapter 2, like that, on and on, like that.
Okay.
No page
Thank you,
break.
sir. No page break. Everything seems to be on the same document. Well, yes, it's on the same document, but it's like the idea is that everything is just on the same page. Nothing is breaking. Nothing is separating. So to find a chapter is even a struggle for you to go locate that chapter. Thank you, Pastor Vincent, for that. What else, people? Briefly, anyone? Where can
Also,
I find true definition of it?
it is to be observed that the arrangement is just lumped up together. There is
The
no,
arrangement is just lumped up.
yeah, no
Thank you.
separation of chapter, introduction, and all that.
Aha. And I see lines in between texts, right? And if I am to ask you to go and look for a particular chapter for me, the easiest way will be to go to the page where that chapter starts. Well, because there is no pagination, you can't even go there. Now, this is how every great book starts. Raw like this, unformatted like this. And someone had to take the time to format it to make it that beautiful book that eventually became a bestseller that everyone wants to buy and read. So we are going to start formatting our book now. And we are going to separate these chapters into various and different pages. And like I told us at the opening ceremony, for those who were here, we don't use the paragraph function to separate pages or to insert pages. A paragraph is meant to take a sentence for you below the sentence above it, but not to create pagination for you. Because the moment you keep hitting your paragraph button, trying to separate one chapter from another, Microsoft Word still recognizes that chapter as belonging to the content before it. But the moment you insert a page or you break a page, then you are telling Microsoft Word to recognize that everything concerning this chapter is on this page. So even if you come back to that chapter later on and add more content to it, it will not push the text messages below. It will simply keep inserting new pages for you automatically because it understands that anything coming here is for this particular chapter. So to do that, I will scroll up. Already I have the first segmentation here, which is introduction, a page of introduction. I will scroll down till I find chapter 1, which is just here. And I will place my cursor right at the beginning of the sentence that describes chapter 1. Please, if you can see my cursor blinking, my pointer blinking, and you see chapter 1, understanding the true meaning of impact, give me a 7 on the chart so that I don't move and leave you behind. All right, I see the 7. Let me see if I can get 2 or 3 more 7s, then I know we are together. All right, I have my 3 7s. I have I have adequate 7, so I can move on. All right. So now to move this chapter 1 and the entire contents under chapter 1, I will not hit my paragraph button like this. This is what unprofessional formatting demands. If I do this, the space here where I am moving my cursor is still part of the same document. So if I add any information here, imagine assuming I move this chapter 1 down to a new page, and then I come back to introduction and I add more content below this sentence here. What will happen is that Microsoft Word will keep pushing chapter 1 down. So by the time you think you're done and ready with your book, you discover that chapter 1 starts in the middle of the page or below the page, or maybe even on an entirely new page, and then you have a blank page in between. So to avoid problems like that, I'll place my cursor in front of chapter 1, then come to the top of my Microsoft Word document, to these tabs here, and I will look for a function that says layout, which is this. And I will click on layout, and I'll see what happens. And layout comes out with several under functions. I mean, several different things that I can do under layout. I can set my margins. I can change the orientation of my book. Do I want it landscape? Do I want it in portrait? I can change the size of the book. By the way, you can do that. By default, Microsoft Word comes A4 size page, but not all books are A4 size page. Some books are quite small. So you can even change the size of the page if you want, or if you need to. But for now, this is my area of emphasis. This thing called breaks here. Please, if you see it, give me a 0. If you see it, give me a 0. I know I'm saying 0. Okay, you see breaks there. Thank you. I have 4 zeros, so I can move on. So I want to select break. Now, even under the page breaking, I have various other things. It's asking me, do I want to just break the page? Do I want to wrap the text? Do I want to create a new page? This I will explain much later. But for now, I want just this one. I want a new page because I just want chapter 1 to go onto a new page. For now, that's all. And I'll select this. Give me a new page. And there you go. Chapter 1 and all its contents have moved onto a new page. Don't worry, we do not have pagination just yet. It doesn't matter, no problem. Okay, we'll do that later. We'll insert the pages. It has moved on to a new page. But because I placed my cursor in front of chapter 1, everything after chapter 1, including chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4, have all moved further down. So to get chapter 2 onto a new page, the same thing, I will scroll down and look for chapter 2. And there you are. I have found chapter 2. But just like Pastor Vincent pointed earlier on, chapter 2 is inside the contents of chapter 1. So I'll place my cursor in front of chapter 2 and repeat the process again. Go back to layout, go to page breaking, select break a page and ask it to break a page for me. Now it has moved chapter 2 to a new page. Please, if you are with me so far, give me a 3. This is very important. Don't be tired. Just give me a 3. I promise you, I will not ask you to type much again. All right. I've gotten some 3s. Okay, let me see. If you don't understand how I've gotten to this point so far, give me a 0. If I don't see a 0 in the next 7 seconds, it means everyone is on board. All right. So it looks like we are together. So we will do this for the remaining chapters. No matter the number of chapters you have in that book, you have to break each chapter. That is formatting for you. You just have to endure it and do this process for each and every chapter. So I'm going to go to chapter 3 and break the page there as well. And then move on, look for chapter 4. Oh, how many chapter books did you guys write, please? Somebody help me. Was it just a 3-chapter book? Anybody can unmute and say something. Just a 3-chapter book, right? I want to be sure.
Yes, just a 3 chapter.
All right, thank you, sir. So now I've taken all 3 chapters onto separate pages. Am I done with formatting? No. I see some lines. Sometimes ChatGPT does this. I don't know why. It gives you content and then it puts some lines in between your paragraphs. Well, if the lines make sense to you, fine, you can leave them. But if they don't, I don't think you need to have them there. So I see a line just after this quotation here. So I'll place my cursor just after the line, as you see me do, and simply hit my backspace button. And that will select the line for me. And once you see the line selected with these 3 square things in between, 2 by the sides and 1 in the middle, just hit delete and that line goes. Or you can choose to highlight the entire line and then just hit your delete button. So I've taken the line away. I don't want it. It's not serving any purpose for me. I don't think it's helping my book formatting design. Here again, I see another line. And I don't think I want this also. So same thing, I'll place my cursor just after the line, hit my backspace key, and then delete it. There's another line here. I don't want it. Same process. I'll place my cursor just after the line, then hit my backspace key, and then delete. Now we are gradually tidying up this document. Okay. So let's move on. I see another line. Please, I trust everyone can do this. Remove this line. If you can't, please call my attention so far. Okay, and I'm going to delete these 2. All the lines, I don't think I need them, so I'm going to take them out. And by the way, if ChatGPT does this to you, you can simply ask it to stop inserting lines in your content for you. It will do that to save it in its memory and do that. But sometimes when the app becomes overwhelmed, like Bishop said, it's tired or too many people using it, or there is a glitch, its memory has not been updated for some time, it will not respond to your instruction. You give it an instruction, it will still carry out the same error again. So you have to manually remove the lines. But you can always attempt to ask it, please, when you are generating the next chapter, don't include lines in between sentences. And it will do that, okay? So let me just quickly remove all of these lines. And I think this should be the last one. Oh, okay, I seem to have more. So formatting can be a bit taxing, and that's why you have people who are willing to pay you money just to format their books. They don't have time to do all of these things, and they are willing to pay. So it's a good business. I've been making money just formatting books alone. Nothing concerns me with generating the content of the book. Nothing concerns me with the book cover. People just write the book, give me the manuscript, and I format it the way they want, and I get paid. All right, so now all the lines are done with. Okay, all the lines are done with. So now next thing I may want to do is to insert pages. And to do that, I'll come back to this tab up here and look for the one that says insert. My cursor is hovering over it somewhere here, and select it. And then I have so many functions that I can do under the insert tab. But because I'm inserting pages, I come to the one that concerns pagination, which is this. You can see header here, you can see footer, you can see page number. This is what I want because this is the one that will help me to insert pages into the document. A good book should have pagination, except if it is a children picture book. And I will select the page number. Now, before it inserts the page number, it will still give me further options. Do I want the pagination at the top of the page, of the document, sorry, or of the page? Or do I want it at the bottom? Or do I want it at the margin of the book? Even if I already have the pagination, it's asking me, do I want it in the current page in position, assuming I miss some pages. Now, even if I go for the common and most popular form of pagination, which is at the bottom of the page, it is still asking me, do I want it to the left-hand side? Or do I want the numbers right in the middle? Or do I want the numbers to the extreme end? It is your book. It is your decision. Whichever one you want, you go for it. But normally standard books, especially books that are in the form of a manual, go with pagination in the center. So I'm taking that pagination in the center. And automatically the document will insert a footer for me and place the pagination inside the footer. But if I don't come out of this footer, I can't do anything else. But it's easy to come out of the footer. The pagination is inside the footer because I can decide to do anything I want, even with the pagination. Watch this. I can decide to say, living a life of impact. I'm sure sometimes we have seen books formatted like this. You see the title of the book just above the pagination or below the pagination or even by the side of the pagination. And I can even highlight this title and reduce the size so that it doesn't compete with the main text in the document. And then to come out of the footer, I simply take my pointer and place it anywhere in the document and double tap. And I'm out. Please, if you got this, give me 11. If you think I should go through the process again, give me a 0. I just went to the insert tab, looked for the page number function and simply inserted the pagination. Wow, it looks like we're getting this so far. I'm happy. I hope I'm not just telling stories. Thank God. So you see, this book is beginning to take shape now. It's beginning to look professional. The pagination is just not numbers. There is even a title, the book title in the pagination. Okay. All right. I see a comment. Is it a question? All right. I think it's just an approval. All right. Thank you. So now we have our pagination. We have our chapters separated into different pages. The page is broken. Now, what do I want to do next? I think it will be good for me to have a table of content. Okay. Because if you have a very voluminous book, people will want to look at your table of content and see at a glance the things you have inside the book. So quickly, don't worry, today I'm not going to talk about inserting copyright pages and all of that. I just want to do the main thing that you need to know. When you understand how to do some of these things, other pages like your dedication page, your forward page, your glossary, all of these things, you can do them on your own. But if you don't know how to do these basics, you can't even do those ones. So don't worry about the copyright paging, the dedication page. And subsequently, we will do that. I'm sure I'll come back for another part of this training. But for today, let's do the basics, the most important thing. Now, here we have the main chapters. The first one is Introduction, Living a Life of Impact. And I want to include this in my table of content. But I will not do this. Hit a paragraph and then come back above it and start typing manually introduction or table of content. When I didn't know how to format, I used to do this. So I'll type table of content, then I'll go and look at the titles. Then I'll come and enter the title, Introduction to Living a Life of Impact, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll go and look below the document. Where does it start? Okay, it starts on page 1. Then I'll come back, hit my tab button, right? Page 1. The next one, what's the next one? Chapter 1, Understanding the True Meaning. Then I come back, Chapter 1, Understanding the True Meaning. Then I've forgotten on which page was it. Then I'll scroll down again. Chapter 1 starts at page 3. Then I come back and tap and put page 3. That's a manual table of content, which is not good for professional formatting. 1, it takes time. 2, it's not accurate. And then 3, it is not even fast. It doesn't have any links. The table we are talking about is a table that has links that you can tap on the chapter inside the table of contents, and then it will take you straight to where that chapter is, so that you don't do, it saves you the time of searching. So to insert my table of contents, let me delete this. I will place my cursor in front of introduction, and I'll go and break a page there because I need a fresh page for my table of content. And I say break this page for me. Okay, so you see now it has push introduction further down. And up here, I have a blank, fresh page where I can insert my table of contents. So to insert my table of contents, I need to do something special to each of these chapter titles. I need to take them into a template, a styling template. It is that template that will help Microsoft Word to recognize each chapter heading and the page where it is found. Then it will help me insert it into the table of content as a link, linking the chapter title to the page where it is found. Now, I think somehow, I don't know how it happened, but while our chief trainer was sending this, it appeared that it was already in the styling template. So let me just quickly remove it so that I will insert it back into the styling template, and you will see what I will do. And then you'll be able to follow through and do it on your own. Okay. So assuming this is how your manuscript came, the chapters looking very small, you know, even this quotation here, it looks like the same size with the chapter title, but the chapter title should actually be big and bold because you are trying to introduce the person into the chapter. So what I will do is to select the chapter title, come to my home tab here. To my right-hand side, there is a template called the chapter title styling template, shortened to just styles. And if you click this arrow that points down, it opens up a whole new, lots of different chapter styling templates that you can choose from. By default, the first one is usually normal. Normal means you are removing the chapter title from the template. No spacing is a styling that you can use to reduce the spacing between the chapter and the next content that comes under it. Then by default, you should have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, like that. Except if you change or formatted your template, which you are at liberty to do. If you look below here, you'll see Microsoft Word saying you can create a style of your own. If you don't like any of this styling here, you can create your own and customize your own. You can even clear all of these stylings if you don't like any and come up with your own. But because this is a training, let's go with what is there by default. Heading 1 is the styling we are going to choose to use. I hope we are all together. So I will select heading 1. And then you see my chapter title has changed, right? Heading 1 is in blue color. And you can see the chapter title has changed into a blue color. And if I bring my cursor just before it, you see one small triangle like that, like a square cut in two diagonally. This is an indicator that this chapter title is inserted into the styling template here. So I will go to chapter 2 and do the same thing. Please, okay, I've passed chapter 2. So you see, because it is not formatted well, it's a struggle for me now to find chapter 2. Good, here is chapter 2. You were born to make a difference. So again, the same process, I will select the entire sentence describing chapter 2 and make sure it is highlighted. Then come to my styling template, which is found under the home tab. You know, you have the file, you have the home, you have insert. This one is found under the home. Pick that same heading style that I used for chapter 1 and select it. And there you go. Chapter 2 is looking the same as chapter 1. Please, if you have gotten it so far, give me a 4. Give me a 4 on the chat, people, if you have gotten this so far. All right, I see lots of 4. So, do you think, let me ask a question. Let me throw a question to the house now. Do you think we should do the same thing with introduction? Anyone can unmute their mic. Do you think we should do the same thing with introduction, insert it into the styling template?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, we should, because it's a chapter heading, okay? And it is good for it to come on the table of content. So we should do the same thing to introduction. So I'm going to select introduction and then pick heading 1, style, and we go. And I'll move down. I think we didn't quite do that to chapter 3. So me, I'm struggling to look for the chapter 3. Oh. And here is chapter 3. Oh my, when we remove the lines, we didn't even chop and touch chapter 3. No problem. So I'll just select chapter 3 and then select heading styling number 1. And there you go. So one advantage of the styling template is that it helps to make your chapter styling all the same, uniform. Okay, they all look the same, so it makes it look very professional. So now I have all 3 chapters inserted into the styling template. But today's training, I'm going to go a little bit further, and I'll do something because I observe people struggle with you know, some books have chapters or subheadings under a chapter. And I've observed people struggle with these subheadings, getting them into the table of content. And then they go and pick the same heading style for the sub chapters. And you don't do that. So your main, for this document, for example, I've taken the main headings to go under heading number 1. But any other subheading that comes under that chapter, I will pick a different styling for it. Okay. So this chapter 1 has some subtitles below it. For example, here I see something called the true definition of impact. So I will want to select this and go back to my styling template, but this time around, I will not pick heading number 1 or style number 1 because this one is not the main heading. It's a subheading. So I will go and look for any template I want, maybe heading styling number 2, and say, place this under heading number 2. And you see, for emphasis sake, this time around, the color is black, not blue. The main heading is blue in color. Subheadings are black in color. And by the way, people, I can do anything I want. I can customize this template the way I want. Even the color, I can change it. If I want this heading 1 to become red, I can make it red right from the styling template. I don't have to go and select each chapter like this, highlight it, and then go to color and change the color. I don't have to do that. I can change the color right inside the template, and then it will change all subsequent chapters before and after. So I will look for another subheading. There is one here, success versus impact. I select it. I say, okay, place this under heading 2, styling. You were not created to be ordinary. Place this under heading 2. Impact begins with a purpose. All of these are found under chapter 1, by the way, but there are subheadings under chapter 1. So I'll place it under heading number 2. Okay. And then this one, legacy of impact. Place it under heading number 2. And final thoughts, your life is a message, which is still found in chapter 1. Now give it a styling, which is heading number 2. Okay. And I'm done with chapter 1. Come down to chapter 2. The same thing. Chapter 2 has sub titles under it. So I'll pick the first one, which is titled You Are a Divine Solution. And I will place it under heading number 2, styling. Again, I see another subtitle. Now place it under heading 2. Now, please, when you select the heading, don't pick the contents below it like this. If you select the title and somehow select the content under the title, Microsoft Word will recognize the power of a single life, never underestimate, as part of the subtitle. So when you insert your table of contents, this whole thing will show. So you must be careful to pick only the chapter or sub-chapter and title. Living with the mindset of impact is another one. Okay. And you carry the seeds of change. I think for want of time, I will stop at chapter 2. Okay. I wouldn't need to go to chapter 3 just for the purpose of this training. And the final thought, I will also place it in heading style number 2. Okay. So now chapter 1 and chapter 2 are taken care of, assuming chapter 3 is also taken care of. Now, in formatting, sometimes you encounter a problem that looks like this. You have your title heading, and then the content talking about that title or that chapter goes to another page. Okay? And 2 ways you can correct this. If you want, if you're okay reducing the space between For example, in this document, between the chapter heading and the body of the previous subtitle, I can reduce the spacing, and then the contents will come back into this page. But if I do this, it means I have to go back to all of these subtitles and correct them. And if I don't want to do that, I prefer like that double spacing. I can simply highlight the title chapter or the subheading title, as well as a few portion of the content just below it. Not everything, just a few. Okay, and let go of my cursor, and then right click, and I get this prompt, and I go to paragraph. That's the one that interests me now. And I click on paragraph, and then I come here, line and page breaks, and I select line and page breaks. Uncheck this, you will see Windows/orphan control. You don't need that for now. Uncheck it. Check the one that says keep with next. That means keep this subtitle together with the next thing that comes after it. Don't separate them, and say okay. So there you go. See the difference now. Microsoft has found a way to pull up the content below the subtitle without affecting the space above it. Please, if you understand this too, give me a 2 on the chat. This is a very important skill to know in Microsoft formatting. Okay. Only one response so far. Should I take this again? Okay, positive responses are coming. All right, we have gotten this so far. So you want to check all your documents. Anywhere you have situations like that, your title is on one page, the content of the title is on another page, you can simply right click, go to line and page breaking, look for paragraph, and then ask it to keep the title heading together with the content as one. So now I think we are ready to insert our table of content, because we have selected all the headings and inserted them into the styling template. So to do this, I come back to that my blank page that I have and place my cursor there, and make sure that my cursor is on that page. It is blinking, because this is the page I'm going to use to insert the table of content. So with my cursor there in place, I come to References tab. Okay, this is a bit confusing. I am going to insert a table of contents. So naturally, you will expect me to go to the Insert tab. But the table of content is found in the Reference tab. So I go to the Reference tab, and I select it. And the first thing I have to my left-hand side is the table of content. And I will select the table of content. And then even the table of content has different stylings. The first one has the subtitles indented. The more subtitles you have, the more it goes into the document, indented to the right. You have a manual one here. But today, I will use the custom table of content. You'll find it down below, somewhere here. Please, if you can see my screen and you can see my cursor, give me a 1, because I'm taking the custom table of contents. I can choose to use the ones that come by default, but I want to use the custom one today because I want to show us something. Thank you. So I will pick the custom table of contents, select it, and then the window opens. Things I can do. For today's training, I will stop at just the table of contents. I won't go to table of figures. I won't go to table of authorities. Let's start with table of contents. Here I have a tab leader. A tab leader is what points the chapter on your table of contents to the page. And it comes in several styles: dash, hyphens, long hyphen lines, or you can choose not to have it at all. And today I will say, don't give me the tab leader. I want my table of content blank. It looks more nice for me. Okay. And then here you have levels. Sometimes you have chapter titles, and then you have sub and chapter titles, and then even under that sub chapter title, you still have further subtitles. This is most found in academic write-ups. You have maybe 1.1 as the main chapter title. Then you have 1.1 as a subtitle. And then you have 1.1.1. That's 1.1 is under 1.1. You know, all those kind of formattings. This is mostly used by the people in the academic sector. So you can tell Microsoft Word to recognize as many levels as you have in your documents, up to level 9. But ours for today, for this book, is just one level. The main chapter title, and then the subtitles under it. And with that, I think I'm ready to ask you to insert the table. And I'll just say, insert the table of content. And you see what happens straight up. It gives me the table of content. Look at this. Okay. Here you have introduction on page 2. You have chapter 1 on page 5. The subtitle under chapter 1, which is the true definition of impact, also starts on page 5 till, okay, how comes this one is not on a separate page? Okay, let me break this page here. Okay, please, let's do one thing quickly here. Note that introduction, living a life of impact, is on page 2. Let's go back and confirm that on the table of content. Living a life of impact. I mean, introduction, living a life of impact is on page 2, right? On the table of content here is on page 2. So this table of content is accurate so far. But I don't know what happened that it didn't break the page here. So I will go back to layout and break the page. I want it separated from the table of content page. And I've broken it. Now it is on page 3. If I go back to my table of content to check, it is still on page 2. So the table of content is no longer accurate because of something I just did some moments ago. So I will select the table of content, right click, and ask it to update the table of content. And when I say update, it will ask me, Oga, what do you want to update? Is it just the page numbers only, or do you want to update the entire table? My table is accurate so far in terms of the arrangement. It is just the pagination that is not aligning with the chapter. So I will say update page numbers only. I don't have a problem with any other thing. It's just the pagination. Okay. And there you go. It has corrected it to page 3. So that is what a professional table of content can do for you. It reduces your work. You don't have to go back to the document to keep cross-checking the pagination. Is it aligning? Is it making sense? This thing is accurate because it is linked. Okay. The application, the Microsoft Word, is creating a link between your chapter and the pages where the chapters are found. I hope this makes sense. Please, if you understand and you think this is something you can do, even if it is a small formatting like this, give me a 9 on the chat. Okay, let me look at this chart and see if I have enough 9s to know that I have made sense so far. Okay, I see a 9 from Bishop. Thank you, sir. A 9 from Pastor Akani. Thank you, sir. A 9 from Mr. Victor. Thank you. The rest, are we?
There's a
Hello,
comment.
sir.
Yes.
She said, please take that again, sir. There's a comment.
Okay. What shall I take? The way I corrected the table of content?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see if I can redo that. Okay, so let me take this back. This was the problem we had initially, right? I don't know what we did, but somehow introduction found its way to the same page where we have our table of content. And table of content ought to be on a different page. Introduction or dedication or chapter 1, depending on whatever comes after your table of content, should be on a separate page. Now that time, okay, let me do Control Z. I want to bring back that mistake. Good. So somehow, introduction found its way back to the same page that had the table of content. And because the table of content is following my styling template and my formatting, and by formation, I mean by my formatting, I have introduction on page 2. You see it here, which is the same page that the table of content is on. The app is giving me the introduction on page 2, but it's not the app's fault, it's me. Somehow I didn't break this page here. I didn't break the page before introduction. So introduction was on page 2. Table of content is on page 2. So the app is telling me, yes, your introduction is on page 2, the same thing as your table of content. And me, I don't want this introduction to remain on this same page. I want to take it to a separate page so that anything table of content related is on one page. Anything that has to do with introduction starts on a different page. So I came here, placed my cursor, went to layout, selected the breaking function, and I said, break a page for me just before introduction. And it did. And it moved introduction down to a new page. That means it moved it to page 3, isn't it? Now, my table of content is on page 2. Introduction starts on page 3. But because I did this formatting after I've inserted my table of content, my table of content is still reflecting that introduction is on page 2, whereas now it is not on page 2, it is on page 3. Please, Ma, do you understand this so far?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. And now what I want to do is to change the pagination here on the table of content to page 3 to align with what I have now. But I don't need to do it manually. I can do it manually, but if I do it manually, it will not register in Microsoft's memory that I made a correction down there. So any mistake can still further reflect along the document. So all I need to do is simply select the table of content. This way, you can select the entire, you can select a few. You don't need to select everything actually. And right click, and you get these menus. And you go to the one that says update the field. And you select on update the field. And then it will ask you, do you want to update just the page numbers only or the entire page? Now, if you are asking it to update the entire page, that will be applicable, assuming you decided to add chapters. We stopped at chapter 3, assuming we decided to add chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, 7, after inserting our table of content. Then we will need to tell the app, update the entire table. Because right now, it doesn't have chapter 4. It stops at chapter 3. But in this case, I don't have extra chapters added. The only issue I have is the introduction page, which has moved down to page 3. And I want it reflected in the table of contents. So I will say, please just update the page numbers only. And then it corrects it. And not only does it correct introduction, remember we moved introduction down, right, to page 3. And then other things under introduction might also need to adjust. So anything at all that needs to adjust as a result of that action we took, the table of contents will automatically adjust it. Are you good now, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Sir, what time are we stopping my chief trainer, Bishop, sir? I don't know. It seems I took a lot of time today.
I want you to land. I want you to finish, even if you can take the next 10 or 15 minutes to ensure that this formatting is fully covered. I want us to cover it so that by tomorrow we move to another part of it.
Okay. So with your
Yes.
permission, do we do the publishing tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow we do the publishing on seller.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So with having been empowered to go on for a few more minutes, I think it will be good for us to pick. Okay, you see that kind of problem we had, right? So we will select success versus impact, because we don't want success, the heading, on a different page, and then you have the contents of the heading on another page. So I'll select the title as well as the first few contents that come under it. Right click, go to paragraph, uncheck window orphan. Please, is anyone hearing me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right, thank you. Just had a glitch, so I thought I went off. Check, keep with next, and then say okay. So now it has moved the two items onto the same page. Okay,
So
so
we
I
can't
think
see your screen again, sir.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry. I thought something went wrong, actually. Let me share my. Let me. Sorry, my Zoom is acting up. All right, please, do you see my screen now? I think you should be able to see my screen now. Can
Yes,
anyone
sir.
see my screen? Thank you. All right. So let's go to chapter 3 and format it, just so that we get this very well. Chapter 3, I have the main chapter title inserted into the styling template. But these lines are still there. I don't want them, so I'll place my cursor just before the line, hit the backspace button. If I want, I can hit delete. If I want, I can further hit the backspace button and remove it. Okay, and then I have my subtitles. These ones, the subtitles, we did not insert them into the styling template. So we will insert them. And if you remember, to insert them into the styling template is not difficult. You just highlight the subtitle, look for the styling template you want to use. In this case, it is heading number 2, which we can even change it to a different name if we don't want it called heading 2. And pick heading 2, and then it is inserted. Same thing with this, heading 2. Okay. And I come to discovering your purpose, and I place it under heading number 2, as well as the role of passion in living a life of impact. Okay, now all of these chapters have a quote just above them, and these quotes are the same font size as the main content in the book. Usually, so that these quotations do not draw attention or compete for attention with the main contents in the book, good formatting will require that you reduce the size of anything that is actually a quote, especially at the beginning of the contents in your chapter. So you select the entire code, simply come here, the home tab, come to this function here that helps you to increase your font size or reduce your font size, and just type. Just click on it. If you want, you can actually go to the font sizing itself and quickly just type the font size you want. From 11, I can decide to say, make it a 9. Okay, and it reduces it something very small so that the person knows that this is just a quotation that he or she needs to read before the main content in that chapter. Okay. And if I do to 1, it is good that I do to the rest. And I say 9 again. Please reduce all of these to 9s. Okay, and we're here at introduction. Now, okay. So observe one thing here now. Remember earlier on I said when Bishop sent us the document, somehow I think ChatGPT inserted the headings into the styling template. You know, ChatGPT sometimes can go ahead of your instruction. So this styling here came with ChatGPT's styling. That's why you see them further indented. They go to the right a little more than the ones before it. So I want to correct everything and make everything look uniform. So I will select the table of content, right click, update field, and then this time around ask it to update the entire table because I went to chapter 3 and updated the subheadings. So I say, okay, go update everything. See, the ones I corrected so far, I've taken the correction, but you see balancing, example, final thought, still shifting to the right because I didn't touch them. But the power of purpose, the danger of a life, because I inserted them into a different styling heading, the correction took effect. Okay. All right. I think I saw, was that a question? I saw somebody typing something. Okay. I think that's not a question. Okay. Okay. So this is how you format a book. This is how you insert your table of contents. This is how you paginate your document, even with the title of the book inside the pagination if you want. And this is how you also introduce each chapter heading into the styling template. The last thing I will do today before we close shop is to show you how you can still further customize this styling to what you want. It mustn't be blue or this font style as it is. It's possible that you don't like this font style. It's possible that you don't want it in color or you don't want this color. Can you change it? The answer is yes, you can. All you need to do is to go back to the styling template. This one here, the main title is under heading 1 styling, right? So right click that heading 1 and then tell Microsoft Word, I want to modify this particular template. And I'll click on modify. And then it opens up a window showing me all the characteristics of that template. That the template by default comes in blue color. And I say, no, I don't want blue color. I want amber red. And it says by default, the font style is Calibri light. And I say, I think I want stencil. And it says by default, the font style is 16. And I say, 16 is too small for me. I want to go to 20. And it says by default, this thing is not bold. And I say, no, make it bold. And it says by default, it is not in italics. And I say, me, my book, I think I would like my main chapters to be in italics. And I say, make it italics. The moment I am done customizing it, I say, okay. And there you go. Now it has given me the kind of styling that I want. And because it is a template, any other heading in that template will automatically change. So I don't have to go to each chapter, each heading, and begin to change it because it is already inside this template. Any change I make, it will go to all the headings that I have inserted that particular style into and update the changes. Is this clear, people? Give me 5. I think I'm closing shop today from here, but I need to know that you know how to modify your styling template. Please give me a 5 if you think you can modify your styling template to what you want. It doesn't have to be what comes as default. Because just imagine if you are writing a children's book, all of these mature font stylings might not work. You need something a little bit stylish, you know, since you are dealing with children. Okay. Okay. So finally, though this should have been the first thing that actually we should have done, but no problem. I will do this, and then any mistake we encounter along the way, we will use the opportunity to correct the mistake. Is to resize this document. By default, remember I said this is A4 size. And in reality, how many books are A4 size books? Very few. Okay, most books are smaller than A4 size. So we will want to resize this document. And so we'll go to layout. So many people don't know that you can actually resize the page on Microsoft Word. Yes, you can. It's just that Microsoft Word assumes you want to print something straight from your computer. So by default, it gives you the A4 size. But I'm going to resize this document. So I'll go to the layout tab and then come to resize and select resize. And then it gives me some preset sizes like A4. A4 is 21 by 29 cm. You have A3, 29 by 42, which is a little bigger. You have B4 and all of that. You even have a letter size in case what you're going to print is on a letter. And if any of these sizes are not what you want, you can go to more page sizes. And then you can actually input what you want. Okay. Now I'm thinking, let's make this book 6 by 9 inches. 6 by 9 inches will translate into what? I need somebody to help me so that I know we are together. Let me give this small assignment to somebody to help me so that I know you are with me. 6 by 9 inches. 6 inches by 9 inches. How much will that translate into cm? Is anyone with me? I hope we have not gone to sleep, oh. And I'm the only one talking.
We are here, sir.
We are here.
All right. So students, 6 by 9 inches into cm. Quickly, can anyone do that?
15.24 by 22.86 cm.
Thank you, ma. 15.24 by 22.86. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's, okay, which one is the width? Which one is the height? The height should be the 9 inches, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
These things, we need to know these things. Well, there is small mathematics in formatting. If not, if we take the dimension for the height and we place it for the width, it will turn the thing into landscape. And it's paraventure, you don't want landscape, you want your book in portrait size. So the height should be 22 by H6. And then the width should be 15 by 24. And I enter. Okay, so see what, observe this, the pages have become smaller. Okay, and because they have become smaller, I seem to have blank spaces all over the document. If I zoom out, see what I have. There's a blank page here. Page 6 is totally blank. There's a blank page before the table of content. I can choose to leave that one and have my title page there. I can choose to leave this one and later insert my dedication page or forwarding page or acknowledgement page, whatever. But remember, anything I put here, I need to go back and place it inside the title styling template so that I can later come back and update my table of content. But if I'm pretty sure I don't need anything here, I can just place my cursor there and then delete the space and pull up my introduction straight onto that page. Okay, same thing with this. Okay, and keep doing this until I am sure my book is well formatted. I do not have spaces where I don't want. Okay, and zoom up, and I think my book is ready to go. All right, so I'm sure everyone can do this now. So with that, I would like to hand over to our chief trainer, Bishop Ibro Zion. Thank you for the opportunity, and God willing, tomorrow we will take this book and upload it onto Seller and then publish it. So before tomorrow, please get an email account, especially Google. I don't know about Yahoo. I am surprised that some people are still using Yahoo. Well, it's a thing of choice, but these days everything seems to work around Gmail. So please, in case your email, okay, I see your hand. Our nurse, our chief nurse, that's your new title. Now, I've never seen a nurse raise people for book launch like this one. So I'm making you the chief launch henceforth. Yes, ma'am. Please unmute and go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know the recommended font style and size for publishing. That's number one.
Oh, okay.
Number two, oh, let me start my video. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see me now? I've started it.
Yes, we can see you, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead with your question. Go ahead.
Okay. So number two is the normal spacing and margins. I don't think you mentioned that, sir.
Okay.
Then
Now,
the last one will be, how do I put both Roman numerals and then the normal numbering in the book? Because, for things like forward, acknowledgement, I think those ones should be in Roman numerals.
mm-hmm.
So those are the three questions I have, sir.
Okay, ma'am. All right. Now, talking about what is the recommended font styling and size, I am not sure there is any recommended font styling and size because it depends on the book you are publishing. One thing I do know as a practice, as a standard practice, is that your font styling should be legible enough for the reader to read. It doesn't matter if you yourself like the styling. Remember, if you pick like all this old English Gothic styling, you like them. Okay, let's even just do a practical. You can see my screen, right? imagine I decide to select this, and just because I like this styling, let me look for it. Let me look for this. Can you read this easily?
No,
So
sir.
me as ma'am.
No, I can't.
So I will just advise that go for those simple styles that are legible to read and friendly to the eye. And I know usually for a standard book, it starts with anything 11, size 11, size 12, size 14. Okay, except if the book is the content is voluminous, like all these thick novels that have up to 2,000 pages. Sometimes because they want to compress it into one book, you see them going as far as size 9 or 10. But usually size 11, 12, 13, 14 is good enough to go. Okay, and then for font styling, just select what is good for the eye. Then you ask the question, how do you format your pagination? Some go in Roman numeral styling and then some in Latin, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, that is a little tricky. Let me Control Z this and go back. All right, let me just scroll up to show you quickly how we can do that. This is our table of content, and it starts on page 2 in Latin form. Now, possibly what you want is for this table of content to show in Roman numeral, right?
Yes, sir.
And then introduction starts in Latin styling. Now, if this is what we want to achieve, we don't break our page. Instead, we create a new page. There is a difference there. Breaking a page, you are simply just moving the content onto a new page. But when you create a new page, you are telling Microsoft Word that even though page 1 and page 2 are in the same documents, but I want you to treat them as two separate things because I can decide to format page 2 in a different way entirely from page 1, but it is in the same document. So what we will do is to take our cursor just below the page, the last content, which is the table of content, and go to layout and go to that break function. And then this time around, instead of saying break the page, I say please move
Is it Coach got frozen or is it me?
I think it's Coach, sir.
Okay. All right, let's give him a few seconds. If he's not here, I will just share and show you what you requested for. Let me use a document I have here to just answer your question. You want the introductory part, those acknowledgements and co to be, what do they call it now? Roman figure. And you want the chapter 1 to start on page 1. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me see if I have a book I can use to do that. Yes. Let's use Pastor Taiwo's book, if you don't mind, Exposing Deception. Let me see. Page 1 is 1. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and answer that question right away. Now, this is it. Can you see my screen now? We are behind time. 30 minutes later. All right. This is Pastor's book, dealing with yokes of deception. If you observe, it's starting from page 1, but that page 1 is in normal numbers and it just flow like that. This is not the way it should be. Now, all this place is just the introductory part and the chapter 1 is here. Did you see that?
Coach Joseph Sule has started sharing his screen.
Is he back? Let me just answer
the
it.
network is not allowing him to come up.
Okay, this is it, but can you see my own screen?
No,
Yes,
sir.
we can see.
This is
now.
Joseph, Coach
This
Joseph's
is Bro
screen.
Joseph's screen. Oh.
Yes.
What are you seeing on the screen?
Right
what are
now,
you
nothing
seeing
is
now?
showing. Only you, sir.
What are you seeing? Oh,
Nothing, only you, sir. Your screen is not showing.
what are you seeing? What can you see right now?
We can see you.
Only you. You, sir.
You can see me, Abi?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, what are you seeing now on the screen?
Okay, you have started screen sharing. Yes, your screen is showing now, sir.
It was my screen that has been showing. Coach Joseph Sule is out of the room. So all you are seeing, this book, dealing with the yokes of deception. Can you see the design?
Yes, sir.
It is me sharing now. It's not any other person. I'm the one. I'm now telling
Before
you that.
don't came up.
Okay, fine. Since you can see this now, let's proceed. We are behind time. Now, this is where chapter 1 is. And my chapter 1 is already on page 11. Or what page is this?
9.
Page 9, right?
Yes, sir.
You are sure this is page 9 you are seeing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. It's supposed to start on page 1, not page 9. And all these other parts before chapter 1, you say you want them to be in Roman figure, right? We say
yes,
this
sir.
is what you would do. This is the method and this is the style. Put your cursor right here before chapter 1.
Okay.
Go to the menu layout. The menu layout, page layout. Look for break. Instead of saying any other thing, say next page. You see this next page? Click next page. And then what happened is that this chapter 1 has been broken from that place. So much so that if I double click on this footer, if I double click on that page, just unmute and follow me. You are the one that asks question. If I say insert,
Yes,
insert page numbers, I will go to format, this format of page numbers, the format of page numbers. I can now say, instead of this normal number, click here, let it be in this Roman figure. And I say, okay. Look at what happened. From this place, it becomes Roman figure. Roman figure, is that what it is? Roman figure 4, Roman figure 5. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you get to your chapter 1, instead of Roman figure, it's still on the normal number, right?
Yes, sir.
Or it's on 9. This one is Roman figure, but this one is 9. What you need to do now is click this, double click the footer, and say insert. Go back to page numbers, say format. This time around, say start from page 1. Is it 1 I have here? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Then you say okay. What happened is that automatically your chapter 1 is now on page 1, continuously page 2, but the others are now on Roman figure. And they too, they started from their own Roman figure 1. You have just successfully separated the main document from the initial introduction, dedication, acknowledgement. Did that answer your question, ma?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, this is where we'll stop for today because of time. Sorry for taking your time. It's just that I needed us to cover this and ensure we finish it. All right, from me, it's a good night. God bless you all. We'll meet in class tomorrow. The assignment is this. No running, don't nobody run until we get the assignment. Write a new book, not the book you have written before. You are going to prompt ChatGPT and start a new book. That new book, I need it submitted. Today is Tuesday. I need it submitted latest on Friday. I know you are all busy. You are working class. You have work. So many of you, like nurses, do night shift and all that. So I'm going to give you 3 days. Write a new book. Start the whole thing, format it like we taught you how to format it, and submit the formatted version of that new book into our WhatsApp group on Friday.
Any specific title?
So you choose the title. You can let us know, but it shouldn't be a title you have before.
Okay.
No, Wayo, it's a new book.
Okay.
It's a new book. No submission of old book. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Job well done, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Bye.